Sonya and Sasha, for real.
We love every single one of you who's listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM and the Sonya and Sasha for Real show, and big show today. Lots of different people that we've been speaking to. We've got another great interview with Archie Thompson for a full hour after our show finishes today. But let's get a little bit serious. The Sonya and Sasha serious section today, Sash, involves a fantastic guy called Tom Kenneally from Holt. Can you please tell everybody what Holt is all about, Sash?
Okay,
bring Tom on.
This is an organisation that is for tradies to talk about mental health. Like tradies, who even thought that
Tom did. Tom thought of it.
We never even thought like how are tradies thinking about mental health? Like haven't even thought about it. We love our tradies. And so the fact that there's a whole organisation which stands for Hope Assistance Local Tradies. Look, my kids in the background, they think they're tradies right now, if you can hear them, right?
Building something.
That's exactly right. They're probably hammering out something, Mum's working, let them run, right? But we've got Tom on the line and he's going to talk about some serious stuff about how we can make sure we can take care of our tradies. Hey, Tom.
Welcome, Tom.
Welcome.
Sonya, how you going?
We are so happy that you're here, Tom. We didn't think about this before, but now that we know about you and your organisation, we kind of can't stop thinking about it because, everybody in the world right now, we're struggling, and then we kind of didn't think, we've got 2 million tradies in Australia, I believe. Yeah. And some of us are struggling. So tell us about Holt, what you're all about, how it all came to be.
Yeah, that's great. It's great that you're thinking of us all the time too. Keep it up. We want everyone to know about Holt, and we really want to grow the program. Holt is a suicide prevention and health promotions charity that, as you said, Sonya, works primarily with tradies and blue-collar workers, be they men or women, guys or girls. Mm-hmm. We set up in 2013 up in Central Victoria.
Wow.
Jeremy Forbes is the founder and CEO, and Jeremy set up the organisation after a tradie mate up here tragically ended his life by suicide. And we realised as guys who had all worked together for years that we didn't have much of an effective language around what had happened and about how to kind of look inwardly safely, and with safety in mind, just to see if there's ways we can check in with each other to hopefully stop that happening in the future.
So tell us, what kind of pressures do you think tradies actually have?
Well, I mean, we've all got pressures, obviously, and now especially, I think there wouldn't be one of us who's not struggling with extra stuff. I think we spoke about that before the show started. But for tradies, there's, especially for the guys, and in a different way for women too, there's that pressure to conform, that idea to be bulletproof, to be, stoic and just to get it done, that idea that you're just working outdoor day in, day out, 7 days a week. Sometimes some blokes are doing heaps of overtime. They're out in the weather, all weather conditions. And although, you see guys driving around in the big utes and stuff that cost 70 grand, a lot of guys, again, feel that pressure to just have that vehicle too early when they can't afford it. They want to kind of be one of the crew and not let anyone down. And part of that is kind of walking the walk and looking like the tradie, kind of iconic tradie. Mm-hmm. And that can, but with that comes a lot of pressure, especially, say, for example, financial pressure. If you think about the tradie that you see coming in and out of the hardware store every day, picking up materials for the job, might have his apprentice in the car, a couple of apprentices, and he might be putting, $2-3 grand a week on the credit card for materials. At the end of that month, there's 10 grand on that card, and he's got to pay his sub, he's got to pay his apprentices. He hasn't been paid yet. He's reliant, or she's reliant on that money coming in. And if it doesn't come in, it gets put on, you start accruing interest and that sort of stuff. And we're not taught about how to handle those kind of financial pressures and the relationship pressures that can come from financial pressure at trade school.
And that's just one part, isn't it? That's just one part of the pressure that a tradie would be under. What do you do with Holt? Tell us about what the program is all about. How do you support people?
Well, the Holt program is grassroots. So we, our main focus and passion is getting out into community on the ground with workers at their work sites, at the places where they feel familiar, feel comfortable, and talk to the guys about how they can have a tough conversation with their mates, how it doesn't make you any less to be able to go into that difficult space and check if someone's travelling all right with their mental health. And you don't have to solve your mate's problem. You can just be a great mate and support them and help them get to the support services that are out there and that they need by driving them to that appointment and waiting there, while they have it, ringing and checking up later on. Just helping each other get out of the woods, because on any given day it might be you, it might be me that's having a hard time, and we want to promote that culture of feeling safer to put your hand up and know that you'll be encouraged when you do it, and and it's just about getting back on the tools quicker and back to wellness quicker next time.
So, Tom, one of the things that I've seen with checking out Holt is that you said that a lot of tradies take part in some at-risk behaviour, which then increases the risk of them putting themselves, at the boiling point of, putting their own mental health at risk, right? So tell us about some of those at-risk behaviours, and really more about warning other tradies to kind of say, when you participate in these at-risk behaviours, these things can actually happen to that. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Look, I think historically tradie culture's been work hard, play hard. And so that can be a lot of drinking, gambling, risk-taking behaviours, egging your mates on to do crazy stuff, also just taking risks at work, cutting corners and maybe, just taking risks because it kind of goes with the territory, A lot of younger guys that I talk to, they'll talk about, grabbing some ice on the weekend, and this isn't everybody, obviously, but drug taking's can be a part of that culture too. On the weekends, it's about having a big weekend, and it's not about judging people for what they do. It's about educating people so that and having the guys not feel like they have to go all out 110% every weekend.
So you do things like come out and you do a sausage sizzle with all the tradies, or you've got this thing called Holt Brekkie. And so there's a whole lot of different things that Holt can actually do to do some grassroots stuffs where they're working directly with the tradies there. How can people get in touch with you, Tom, to get one of these, events at their location?
Right. So they started out as Save Your Bacon Brekkies, and that's what we do. Because everyone loves a bit of a free feed, So bacon egg roll, coffee in the morning. It's a great way to start that conversation, somewhere where the guys feel comfortable.
And they can find you on Instagram. Where can they find you? What's your website?
On holt.org.au, so HALT for Hope Assistance Local Tradies.org.au. You can also have a look for Holt Northeast Melbourne and Southeast Melbourne, because I've got a co-worker on the Mornington, Mick Simmons, and also Jeremy Forbes. So we're there in the Northwest, and we're there in the Southeast, and we're growing the program sort of nationally as well.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Tom, for being with us today. That's so special, the work that you're doing. And as you said, in the grassroots level, and that's where we need it. We need it, we need people to feel like they can come to somebody and say, I'm struggling with this, I need a hand. And, for you to make that safe space for people, we're very grateful that you're doing the work.
Yeah, well, anyone who wants to get in contact with us, please reach out. We work in with councils, we work in with small businesses, big industry, anybody, and we're federally funded, so our services are all free, guys. So
amazing.
We just live to do this work. We're passionate about it.
So good, Tom. Thank you so much for being with us today. And as we've spoken about some topics, if anyone's struggling with anything, that you're not handling too well, most of us are at the moment, please reach out to Lifeline on 131144.
Sonya and Sasha, for real.